Audiobook and Hardship by Fictionify. Whispers of the Vanished. The tension between. The brooch shimmered faintly in Elena's gloved hand, casting fractured emerald light onto her sleeve. It was heavier than it looked, not just in metal, but in history, its weight made up of stories, grief, stolen legacies. The room was silent but for the soft hum of the museum's climate control system and the ever-present tick of a security camera rotating overhead. She disabled the alarm, cut the power to the backup sensor, planned every second of the timing with military precision. She had done this 1,000 times before, and yet this was the first time someone had caught her mid-act, especially someone like him.
I said put it down.
The voice behind her was measured, calm, but there was an edge under it, one she recognized: suspicion, authority, and worst of all, curiosity. Elena turned slowly, her spine straightening as she faced him. The spotlight from the display case haloed her figure in soft gold, while the detective remained in shadow. But she didn't need to see him clearly to know who he was. Detective Cole Carter. She'd met him once, briefly, at a mayoral fundraising gala 6 months earlier. They'd exchanged pleasantries over wine and small talk. She remembered thinking he was smart, watchful. A man didn't miss much. Now, here he was.
"You're not security,"
she said, her voice as smooth and calm as silk.
You're not supposed to be here.
He replied, not raising his voice.
And neither is that brooch in your hand.
She offered a faint smile, one that didn't quite reach her eyes.
"Then it seems we're both trespassing."
Cole took a step forward, the leather of his shoes whispering against the marble floor. His eyes flicked briefly to her face, then to her hand, then back.
What's the plan here? You vanish into the night like some kind of modern-day Robin Hood?
"That's not far off,"
she said, lifting the brooch slightly as if to admire it.
"Do you know what this is?"
A brooch.
He said flatly.
18th century Austrian. Belonged to a duchess. Or so the museum claims.
"Stolen from a Jewish family during the Anschluss."
Elena replied.
"Documented, verified, but never returned. It changed hands a dozen times, and now it's locked in a case with a fake origin story. The Weiss family in Vienna has been trying to recover it for 3 generations.
And that gives you the right to break in and take it?
I'm not stealing it, I'm returning it."
He raised a brow.
You expect me to take your word for it?
"I expect you to do your job."
She said, the calm in her voice sharpening into something more focused.
"To protect the innocent. To seek justice. Isn't that why you became a cop?"
For the first time, he faltered, not visibly, but in the subtle way his jaw tightened and his eyes narrowed. A flicker of something passed through his expression. She saw it. Recognition, doubt, maybe even agreement.
You're Elena Hart.
He said after a long pause.
CEO, philanthropist. Your name's on half the city's charity walls. What the hell are you doing pulling stunts like this?
Elena lowered the brooch to her side and sighed.
"Maybe I got tired of watching the world applaud villains in suits. Maybe I realized writing checks wasn't enough."
You're risking everything. Your business, your reputation, your freedom.
She took a step closer, eyes locked on his.
"So are you."
The space between them crackled with tension, emotional, electric, dangerous. Neither looked away, neither backed down. Cole reached slowly for the cuffs at his belt.
I don't want to do this.
"Then don't."
I can't let you walk out here with that.
"Then I guess we're at an impasse."
They stood less than a meter apart now. The brooch glinted between them like a symbol of everything they represented: law and rebellion, order and defiance, truth and secrets. He reached for her wrist. She moved, faster than he expected. Elena spun, ducked beneath his arm, and tossed a small silver device to the floor. A burst of light and smoke exploded outward with a sharp hiss. Cole cursed, stumbling back, eyes watering as the fog filled the room.
Elena,
He shouted, his voice hoarse, coughing.
don't.
When the haze cleared, the room was empty. The display case was open, and on the velvet stand where the brooch had rested, a single white card now lay. He walked to it slowly, picked it up with gloved fingers. Just her name, Elena Hart. No number, no slogan, just an identity, boldly presented, like a challenge. Elena emerged onto the museum roof moments later, already peeling off her gloves. The adrenaline was still humming through her veins, but beneath it was something she didn't expect. Guilt? Not that. Excitement. She should have been rattled. Instead, she was intrigued. She knew she'd see him again, and she wasn't sure if that should scare her or thrill her. Maybe both.